Peterbot and Pollo instill fear in Fortnite lobbies.
Watch. Just wait.
Back.
Yeah, there he is. Oh my god. Oh my god.
They had the most dominant competitive season ever.
This will go down in history as the most dominant performance we've ever seen for a whole season.
A ruthlessly efficient Fortnite machine, and resistance is futile.
They just pulled off one of the craziest wins we have ever seen in Fortnite in such a dominant fashion.
Peterbot has always been the quintessential Fortnite kid.
Oh my god! Sit your ass down.
Supernaturally talented.
And Day, who had full control here of the Rift Island burst, and then hits the most disgusting sniper shot. Peterbot is just a walking highlights reel.
Obnoxious in his trash talk.
Everyone is so ass, bro.
And supremely confident.
Did you expect to win every single duo cash cup this season?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty easy.
Coming into 2024, he had a distinguished career.
Peterbot is continuously on the hunt and finds a monster of a shot onto Acorn.
Tons of great placements, including an FNCS win in Chapter 3 Season 2, although he did hit a bit of a cold streak in 2023. At the start of 2024, things came into place for an unprecedented run, teaming up with an equally talented player, Pollo, who burst onto the scene in 2023 after a slow and steady rise on the North American West region, shocking the world with iconic clips and incredible consistency.
Korean Epic will have nothing to lose. What a way to kick things off. He puts down Reek with some big shots, finds Epic Whale with the finish 2, and Pollo might just be making a big name for himself this weekend as he takes down Epic Whale, punishes Reek, and shows them that he needs to have respect put on his name.
A little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a misstep, and Pollo!
Second in the last ever North American West FNCS, then third and fifth in Majors 2 and 3 on Central. Only Peterbot and Cold had credible claims of being more mechanically skilled. Outside their insane talent, Peterbot and Pollo are quite the contrast. Where Peterbot is loud and brash, Pollo is low-key.
Pollo, your ear's burning now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a man of few words.
Fortnite's under-the-radar god. The architect of this team was Coach Raz, combining two of the best players on the region and building a strategy around their strengths, serving as the glue between two players so similar in playstyle and so different in disposition. The bet on this combo paid off immediately when they finished second in Major 1, with some remarkable displays of skill.
But Cold and Acorn have not stopped against all odds. Peterbot sliding across. What is that? Deletes Acorn and likely Cold right afterwards.
But it was Season 2 where they completed the best start to finish season ever.
Peterbot and Pollo went on an absolutely generational run this season, winning every single Cash Cup and dominating every single Cash Cup. And then they also dominated FNCS Grand Finals as well.
Dominating perhaps the most anticlimactic Grand Finals ever, scoring a record-breaking 1,100 points and winning by 350. But when the new season arrived, their reign could be challenged. There was a chance for resistance, and it would come from an unlikely duo.
Oh my god!
Clix is Fortnite's most popular streamer, and despite his success in the content realm, he has remained steadfastly committed to competing. Hope springs eternal for the hundreds of thousands of Clix fans who follow his competitive journey.
As far as social media goes, Clix peaked at almost 150,000 viewers on Twitch. 150,000 viewers is absolutely absurd for numbers these days. I never thought we'd see numbers like that ever again since the OG Fortnite days.
Believing each season will be the one he finally wins it all. Despite 17 Grand Finals appearances, 4 top 5s, and qualifying for every major LAN, his competitive career has been one of highs and lows, bursting onto the scene after qualifying 5 times for the World Cup, more than that era's superstars like Mr. Savage, Benji Fishy, mongraal, and Booga. After his World Cup blow-up, his career was punctuated by successes like 5th place in FNCS at the start of 2021 with Booga, and failure, missing Grand Finals with the same trio after crazy spawn beef in the following season.
Clix, Booga, and Bizzle had big egos about it and just wanted to put their mark on this, and were willing to throw an entire season of FNCS just to grief Gabe Tahi and Sprite.
After 5 middling FNCS performances, he teamed up with Dukes for Chapter 3 Season 3, and they placed 4th and qualified for the FNCS Invitational LAN, where they won a game.
With the shot! Outside of zone, he has the only chance right now, but he gets
oh my god, 1v1!
Clix versus Bevy!
Let's go!
For his fans, it would only be natural to expect further success going into 2023. Unfortunately, it would be the year from hell for clix.
Banned for 2 weeks.
After a weak Major 1 with Donnie, he teamed up with a legend, Sent It. In scrims, cash cups, and qualifiers, the performances were great and the vibes were high.
Nice, Sent It, you're the best, bro!
But fate had other plans. After being ruthlessly stream sniped in yet another solo cash cup, clix's frustration boiled over and he made a poor decision in the heat of the moment.
Now, good fucking bitch. Now max my fucking medal like a good boy. Come here and max my fucking medal. I swear to God. Matt, drop the fucking medal now! You stream sniping bitch!
To Epic, this was teaming, and he was suspended for all of Major 2 and 3. Luckily, he received some leniency and was allowed to compete in Major 3, where he joined another icon, the 6-time West champion Epic Whale, placing 24th, meaning they would have to qualify through the last chance major, which they did.
Next in 4th place was clix and Epic Whale.
In Copenhagen, they needed a top 25 to make finals. They came painfully close, placing 27th. But clix over the years has developed strong mental fortitude and a boundless capacity for optimism. He and Epic Whale had an exceptional bounce back in Major 1.
I don't want them to hear you, not heard you.
Oh my god, oh my god!
Where clix's talent, especially with a sniper, was on display.
He's in the... Oh my god, come on, baby.
Leading to a 4th, which tied his best ever placement, creating a growing belief he could finally break through and win his first championship.
I have to speak like volumes for clix individually here as well. On day 1, he did 6,000 damage. The next closest player in the entire lobby was 4,000. That is absolutely ridiculous. He was also the highest damage dealer on day 2 as well.
After a disappointing Major 2 where they finished 4th, clix and Epic Whale split, following a stream where it seemed like the whole community weighed in on their failure.
Are we building Minecraft houses in Fortnite? Or are we not gonna look for Surge in a grand finals?
But his next duo was shocking. One of Europe's best players, Veno.
The rumors are right. Veno is moving to NA!
As volatile as he is talented and charismatic,
Yeah, what are you saying?
You're not listening!
Mate, honestly, why are you getting angry
I'm
with me?
so tired of it!
You know me.
since his explosion onto the scene in 2021, Veno has been a magnet for historic moments and the biggest stages, like being on the wrong side of Tayson's iconic game-winning shot in the FNCS Solo All-Stars, winning his first Grand Finals with Aqua in Chapter 3 Season 2, leading the tournament with damage dealt and eliminations. In 2022, Fortnite announced a return to LAN with the FNCS Global Championship. Veno teamed up with another all-time great, Queasy. And going into Fortnite's biggest tournament since the World Cup, they were favorites. In first place through 10 out of 12 games, losing the lead to Cammy and Seti in Game 11, deciding to make one of the boldest plays in Fortnite history, putting it all on the line and landing on Cammy and Seti in the 12th and final game.
What is this? What is this?
The tournament coming down to a one-on-one where Veno missed a shot to win the World Championship.
Bait the revive so that way Cammy might peek. Breaks through the wall. Shot's gonna be fired. And they do it!
But their revenge tour was equally historic, winning Major 2 by over 200 points, 6 out of their 12 games being victory royales. Although they fizzled out quickly, failing to even qualify for Grand Finals in Major 3, and despite high expectations, they did not perform well in the Global Championship, placing 11th. They split soon after, and Veno would play with another all-time great for 2024. Tayson, a superstar duo that seemed destined to dominate, but they struggled in both Major 1 and 2 and wound up splitting. So Veno decided to move to NA Central to duo with clix, and seemed committed to getting clix his first championship ever.
I want to give clix his best ever placement. That's what I want to do.
And challenge the dominance of Peterbot and Pollo.
I need that. We need that.
This was a piece of what ended up being a huge migration of EU pros to NA, with players perceiving it as the easier path to qualify for LAN, and providing an adventure.
Multiple big name EU players have announced they will be moving to NA for this season.
The migration included Tayson, one of Fortnite's leading GOAT candidates, who had been ice cold since winning Major 1 in 2023. In Major 3, he would be going up against his two main rivals for the title, Bugha and the reigning global champion, Miro, who was teaming up with another one of Europe's top players, Pink. It did not stop there. It included the duo Blaha and Mixin, and Japko, Kylie, and Paco. However, the European Fortnite invasion was overshadowed by one duo. Mongraal and Mr. Savage were coming off a disappointing Major 2 where they missed Grand Finals and looked to continue their journey in North America.
We're taking over NA.
Shut the f.
After a slow start to the season where they did not qualify for their first Cash Cup, they made 3 of their next 4, with a 6th and a 3rd the week of Grand Finals. FNCS semifinals were similarly promising, as they made Grand Finals fairly painlessly.
Mongraal and Savage versus... Let's put Mongraal and Savage free, man. We ain't doing this today, man. Let's put Mongraal and Savage free, man. They're the real deal. They are the real deal.
It seemed as if they were peaking at the right time, and it was a refreshing contrast to the down-to-the-wire drama of their Major 1 qualification.
Let's go!
More importantly, Mongraal felt like he was back.
Oh my god.
On the big ground, bro!
In the past, they were over-reliant on Mr. Savage's greatness, but Mongraal was really starting to pull his weight. He was routinely among the leaders in Storm Surge damage, and had a vintage 1v2 to lock down their drop spot when he took out Death and Edgy.
Chill.
Oh.
You fucking beat him!
Going into Grand Finals, people had high hopes. Chapter 5, Season 3 was polarizing, and that's putting it lightly. It added a Mad Max Desert Punk themed biome with 3 new POIs. At Redline Rig, there was a Mythic Combat Assault Rifle and a medallion that regenerated shield up to 50. At Brutal Beachhead, there was an Infinite Nitro Effect medallion and a Mythic Combat Shotgun. At Nitrodome, there was a Mythic Explosive Crossbow and a medallion that gave unlimited ammo.
What?
However, while the map changes were decent, the meta and loot pool were unpopular, and in some cases downright despised. The Nitro Splashes allowed players to run through walls and do damage. The Nitro Fists, which were mostly balanced as a mobility item, but were broken as an offensive weapon.
So much everything.
The ensuing titanic clash on social media between the so-called sweats and the so-called casuals on whether the season was good led to the word adapt being used so often, we recommend it is retired forever. The good news is Fortnite is a live service game that can be patched at any time. The bad news is Fortnite is a live service game that can be patched at any time. The Nitro Splash was nerfed sufficiently, and the Nitro Fists were removed from the game, which evolved the meta for qualifiers to be built around the Slurp Cactuses as a form of infinite respawning healing. This created 2 issues. Since the cactuses only spawned in the new biome on the southern part of the map, it gave the teams who landed there a massive advantage. And since the competition brings everything to its optimized endpoint, teams were building massive bases on each cactus and getting low consequence storm surge tags. Boring. Many teams, including Mongraal, Mr. Savage, Tayson, and Iamzo, build their strategies around this. While the so-called cactus meta was unpopular, Fortnite fixing it was somehow more unpopular, because the day before Grand Finals, they announced cactuses would no longer regenerate. This upended a lot of game plans, creating controversy. Players would be forced to adapt, potentially putting an asterisk on the whole Grand Finals, which was a shame because this had a potential to be the greatest FNCS ever.
And I could just sit here and say this is a Mickey Mouse Grand Finals. Anyone who wins doesn't deserve it. Anyone who doesn't do well has an excuse, but I'm not going to do that.
There was so much at stake. The top 3 GOAT candidates, Miro, Tayson, and Bugha, would be going head to head. So, could one win and pull away from the pack for good? Miro was in the midst of a weak defense of his global championship, and may have been moving to a different period of his career, de-emphasizing winning.
But not to mention though, at this point in my career, like I don't have anything else that I need to do. I've won the LAN, I've won 5 FNCSs, I've won 2 DreamHacks. Like I'm just playing, obviously I'm playing to still do good.
But could playing with Pink, one of EU's best IGLs, who was hungry for his first FNCS win, reinvigorate him? Tayson was in the midst of by far his weakest run, a victim of the so-called 15th curse, where he had placed 15th in 3 of his last 4 major tournaments. In NA, he teamed up with Yamzo, who was in the midst of his own year from hell, almost winning Major 1 but crashing in 2 games, possibly due to a DDoS attack. So both players hoped this shakeup would regain them some magic. Because of his lack of involvement in Fortnite's loudest storylines, Bugha's profile had somewhat declined. It's not performance based. Since NA Central began in 2023, he is one of the region's most consistent players. It's his uniquely high standard and his proximity to the GOAT title that made his lack of a championship since 2022 start to stick out. He and his duo Aviv hoped to change that. Another problem was that it was not clear he was even the best Bugha on the region anymore. That title belonged to Batman Bugha.
Why is Batman Bugha running this region right now?
Yeah, he is the Bugha of the lobby.
Who, along with his duo Rapid, was demonstrating remarkable consistency after moving to Texas to be closer to the game's servers.
Batman Bugha and Rapid have looked really sharp all season long,
winning a Cash Cup and a qualifying week with a number of second and thirds to prove it was no fluke. Acorn and Cold were still one of the region's best duos. However, were triple contested at their drop spot on the day of Grand Finals.
Acorn and Cold are actually currently triple conned at the Brutal Beachhead.
Kanata and Cooper started the season strong, landing at the Nitro Dome with an unlimited ammo medallion and the mythic explosive crossbow. But were hit the hardest with updates. The crossbow was vaulted from competitive, and if that wasn't bad enough, they lost all 3 respawning cacti, which was critical to their Storm Surge strategy. Needless to say, this was an insane lobby with too many stars to mention. Between them, there was 22 FNCS winners with 52 championships across all competitors. Beyond a championship, all players would be fighting for the final 10 spots to the global championship and their share of $665,000. The stakes brought some huge questions. Would one of Bugha, Miro, or Tayson pull away in the GOAT debate? Could mongraal and Mr. Savage earn a coveted land spot, completing the game's most remarkable comeback? Could Clix and Veno achieve immortality by overcoming such an incredible lobby? And could anyone beat Peterbot and Pollo, who yet again had the best drop spot, Redline Rig, with the shield regenerating medallion, which became more powerful in a post-cactus meta, and the mythic combat AR? We had a mini World Cup on our hands. With great teams, insane stakes, and an unprecedented depth of storylines, all that was left was the games. As we get to the games, like and subscribe. Veno and Clix begin the tournament locked in, embarrassing a team trying to ambush them.
Veno gets opened on, but the double shots are a miss. And Veno, slippery as ever, will get away. And all of a sudden now the tables have been flipped. They are caught in a sandwich of fire between both sides. And Veno is hitting his tags. So is Clix on the opposite side of the wall.
Playing deep into endgame.
Rotate by himself, tries to get tagged in onto Spinks, but he's going to get blocked off by the wall.
To close game 1, Bugha and Aviv take height, And almost 5 years to the day of his solo World Cup victory, they do this.
But he still has to worry about this solo underneath him. It's Muzz. Muzz trying to go for the even exchange, scrambling around the bottom, but he's going to find himself with a third place finish. And now, Booga dropping from above, an eagle from his perch, waiting for the right moment to strike.
Straight to endgame, where Clix and Veno take height, and Peterbot uses an interesting tactic to clutch points as a solo.
Here on the North American region, this is definitely his house right now. He's not giving up just yet.
Not only that, but he's still got a hold of that machinist medallion, gets dropped low one more time, just trying to crash pad his way to safety.
As Baka and Pars take out Clix and Veno for the win.
Veno looks like he was at least able to scrap together some pieces, but no, instantly dropped. Baka has come into the mix from out of nowhere. That drop from above, Veno just never had a chance to see it coming.
Yeah, and Kanata landed his tag too from the low ground, but Ager's gonna finish off Kanata. And Ager's just playing such good Fortnite right now. Not only did he clutch up last game to pull in the points.
In game 3, Veno takes out Acorn early.
Have to take note of Veno. He seems like he abandoned his initial plan. Big tag there onto Cold. Shield fully exposed. Veno clicks. You can tell they want a key. That's why the Nitro splashes come out. Just double aggressing onto Acorn's wall. He doesn't get a chance.
But almost learns a very tough lesson from Cold.
At the very least, though, it seems like they're intent on trying to track down Cold, trying to get the other half of that duo. They know every elimination point counts here, and Veno, he just seems like a monstrous force to reckon with. That is until Cold reminds him of why he's so heavily regarded here on NA.
Before finally finishing the job.
It's not like they were desperate or hurt for wares. Here's the angle. Yeah, Veno just had the perfect top-down view.
Completing another good game, as Baka and Pars win again, taking first place.
The moment they took high ground, the moment this zone played out the way it did, it just made sense that someone like them could win this game. But hold up, mistakes were made. A tag comes through, and Baka now very hurt. One tag to win it all.
With Clix and Veno in third. First place, Baka and Pars go down early. Then Booga's team goes down too. Batman Booga's team.
Just keying teams right now. Next up is Rapid. Rapid and Batman Booga. Again, these are great teams they're fighting right now. They haven't got lucky as far as the choice or the options are concerned. It's just a bunch of teams that are also equally playing very, very well here today.
Yeah, but there can only be one in this lobby, and Batman Booga is going to defeat his shadow.
Giving Clix and Veno an opportunity to take first place.
The next zone here on the move, and they're playing for a refresh. 4 mats are left here. Pressure coming in from the side. It's going to be Seek who gets claimed here. And a big, big find there. That's exactly what Veno wanted. 400 mats here.
Peterbot has another solo clutch. Mr. Savage and Mongraal have their first good game.
Here is Mr. Savage here, alive and well. 5 eliminations for the pair.
Paper and his duo Victor V, who are coached by Victor V's dad, win game 4.
And I think Paper
cannon was a miss, but the tag was beautiful from Paper, and Victor V does so much damage in the end that the Storm will close it out for him. To see it in the end, he did damage to everyone there. He manages to win the game.
2v2, let's drop.
The 2v1, someone's
I'm dropping.
Storm. Okay, watch out. Dead.
1v1. You have whites, play my kids. Let's go! Come on!
As Clix and Veno move within 6 points of first place. Game 5 would be legendary, where Veno in particular would astonish the community. Veno gets down to business right away.
But Turtle Tavern now, he's actually not going to stand a chance because Clix and Veno, they've decided to just steamroll their way through this. The third party.
As he and Clix sense their opportunity, they hunt the first place team Baka and Pars.
Duo base, take a look from the other perspective. There's Pars off in the distance. Got a little too hungry out in the open.
In endgame, Veno went thermonuclear.
Figure it out and then strategize and make it play. They're literally a full step ahead. All of our top hitters are inside the top 10, including Batman, Booga, and Aviv, who just fell, but Booga's down as well. Veno into the box of bolts and takes them out.
With Veno and Clix doing a really smart third-party attack, but Vivid, this is where Veno shines.
Well, it's only Peterbot and Pollo that are left to try and fend everything back, but Muzz and Epic just clean up crew.
But Peterbot and Pollo also wake up.
Just didn't have the material, the height leverage to
Definitely winnable right now, but Peterbot's going to take the first attack from the side. Pollo's there too. He's going to find a tag onto Muzz and Epic Whale.
Clix and Veno take first place with Peterbot and Pollo jumping up to 5th. After a sketchy interaction with Zypha and Shore, who destroyed a heal vending machine Clix and Veno rely on, they look to close out the day strong.
Like this position though, overall, Veno and Clix already starting to push up on the wall of a fresh duo coming in from the zone, and they needed this elimination right here. It is going to come at the exchange of Clix falling, but there's not another team in sight.
Keeping their momentum.
There's also another medkit delivery there, and Clix.
But go down early after a nifty Clix clutch.
Through, but just as they open up their wall, it's Victor V and Paper on the other side of it.
His lead right now, and hopefully holding it over Pars and Baka, but Pars and Baka might just...
Peterbot and Pollo are cooking in another endgame.
Pars actually get the high ground. They went up with the crash pad. It was Ritual who, with the hand cannon, ended up breaking the builds here from Peterbot and Pollo. Now, all of a sudden now, fall to the low ground here, looking for more desperate material here and some placement points alongside Elan points here. They're gonna hunt down Muzz and Epic Whale.
Behind. I don't think Baka and Pars are ever gonna see this coming. Peterbot goes overhead, overshoots the jump though.
But Pollo's got it. At least he ends up foiling the plan of Pars and Baka there. I love that.
After day 1, Veno and Clix are in first. It felt like we would see one of the greatest stories ever. Although, not everyone wanted Veno and Clix to win, and Peterbot and Pollo were lurking in second. On to what could be the most epic day 2 in FNCS history. Mr. Savage cooks Reed.
Mr. Savage here on the move. Whoa. Finds Reed on the rotate.
Veno gets an elimination, but they find themselves in trouble.
Just so problematic. Reed just unsuspecting, and I can't fault him for it either. It's a crash pad. Unfortunately for Veno, that's a crash pad in the wrong direction. Did not mean to clip it that way, and immediately forced to expend the one medkit he was holding onto. Granted, he was probably going to utilize it either way, but Nerfface now going to have an opportunity. Clix was isolated. Veno, even though he's managed to get back some of his white HP,
leaving Veno as a solo, taking out one more player before going down.
To sit as well, but it's a matter of fact that the damage is done. It's 7th zone. He can't go for a reboot play at this point.
But Peterbot and Pollo continue their relentless push.
Likely fight here.
He made it to the tree line though, just in the nick of time. Might be able to squeeze out at least a handful of builds. That might be all the difference here as Peterbot from behind, catching players when they least suspect it, but Pollo
and steal first. Hope was not lost because Peterbot went down early.
Peterbot's gotta be careful here, even in the heat of the moment, finds another set of eliminations.
Opening the door for Veno and Clix.
5 eliminations, low ground, front side rotate here, looking very clean, but do not count Clix out here to continue to be the disruptor. He's got a big 5 elims right now.
And Clix doing what he can to try and grab that scattered loop.
As Bryce and Bolts take down Batman Booga for the win.
But it's threats underneath him. He's gonna play the ultimate spoiler card now. Bolt and Bryce looking all but confirmed here for this Victory Royale, MDF.
And look at the points, right? This is going to jump them way up into the conversation. They were doing, honestly, just fine without the multiplier. Now with the multiplier, Victory Royale under these circumstances are going to give them such a huge swing up and give them a real chance to be your champions. But
Clix and Veno regain first. Veno goes down early after a team stalks his drop and takes his card as far away as possible from Clix.
They're trying to put him in a position that's going to make it much harder to camp the card. They threw him off the ledge there, just making it that much more difficult. Wow.
Although Clix manages to bring him back, Peterbot and Pollo, struggling for Surge, desperately push a fight as Peter goes down.
To our top 3, top 5 standing players to go ahead and jump ahead. But the defense looks a little too good. They'd rather get some fresh builds here. I like that call. There's a wood wall here. But no, not enough.
Though Pollo manages to make plays as a solo.
Pollo's in a better position than him. Just with the medallion to buy him some time. And Bolts gets cracked. Other side, you still see Bryce on the move as well.
Clix and Veno try to expand their lead on low ground.
On the ultimate low, Clix and Veno still moving here, finally earning themselves taco their first elim. Maybe they'll get their second here.
But go down, leaving precious points on the table. As Acorn and Cold continue a day 2 surge with a win.
At this point, finally they move up to another mid-ground layer. They've caught Seek entirely, wall him off, don't allow him to continue trying to follow his teammate.
The wall, one tag, but no! He ends up falling there. Noxie falls too, and Acorn and Cold in the end will win that game.
Clix and Veno retain their lead, but the top 10 are all within 100 points. With 3 games left, we had ourselves a tournament. Clix and Veno's issues off spawn continue. Comment below if you think they were deliberately being griefed.
Manages to kind of regain his footing there, slip out of the box. I'm not sure if he wasn't even loaded there. Potentially his shotgun wasn't ready. They should win this.
I'd be very surprised if they lost it at this point, MDF, that's for sure. Flappy already having been knocked. That's going to be a little bit of siphon material. Now it's just up to Clix. See if he can get the rest of those shots landed with that Thunderburst. Unfortunately, Evan going to be able to hide for just a couple seconds longer.
Veno goes down as a solo.
And Cold gets finished. Fully secured there. Here comes Veno around the side.
Mongraal and Mr. Savage finally have a promising game as they desperately try to get into qualification range. But Peterbot and Pollo cook.
Solidify the finish. Meanwhile, Threats is weakened. Someone else finds that elim right there. Someone comes from behind. It's Cold and Acorn. And Cold gets finished. Even now, that puts them in an even worse position, right? They have no mats to work with here. It's going to all come down to gunplay, gun skill.
Yeah, but where they don't have mats, they do have accuracy. Peterbot gonna find another elimination. Actually, no, it was cleaned up instead by Batman Booga, but Peterbot still, he wanted the body for the loot. Won't get a chance to actually make his way through. Booga now underneath with a V. They're the only thing standing between Peterbot, Pollo, and this next Victory Royale. Instead, Booga, Aviv, they want to take this for themselves, but Booga falling incredibly low here. Pollo now gonna find himself with no shield and no chance to keep this one going. Booga, Peterbot, 1 versus 1, but Peterbot's just better.
Taking the lead with 2 games to go. Sensing the need for a drastic action, Veno makes an aggressive play off spawn.
Weapon, and what is happening here? He's gonna key into what is seemingly a pickaxe battle. This is so aggressive, but he wants the points here. Beautifully done there. He ends up closing it out.
Cold clips Tayson. He and Yamzo would struggle.
There's Duke sort of just a little bit ahead of them on the horizon. Cold, Acorn, Nitro shoulder bash through some of these walls here as Cold wants to get an angle onto Tayson, and he finds it. That's an immediate knock there. Now Yamzo left to fend for himself, but Cold is just on a rampage. He is not allowing even a moment of relief here for Yamzo.
Veno keeps moving, knocking Miro.
Pink here, Pink off to the side. Miro tries to double back to support his teammate, but the damage is just way too much.
But he and Clix are in absolute shambles going into endgame.
So hurt right now. And although they've earned 3 eliminations this game, tags are also coming in, and they're out of material. Crashback comes out. It is a desperate move to the dead side of the zone right now. Very, very close call for them. There's teams in front of them, but the terrain is going to work in their favor. Now here's the question. Do they just sit and wait for an opportunity to come their way? Do they play for placement points here and now? But instead, it seems like the decision's being called out. They want this refresh. They have to get it, but no. Poffy and company make it up and over.
It's going to be one more crash
so
forward. Veno, he's still got Source and Poffy in his sights, but he might have to change his mind. He can't find another duo in time, though.
Peterbot and Pollo have another strong endgame, taking out Mr. Savage and Mongraal in the process, effectively ending their bid to qualify for globals.
Lit up in the sky, his crash pad rotates, now seemingly more impossible to go by unscathed. Peterbot and Pollo, though, they find Mongraal and Mr. Savage.
Continuing their relentless domination.
They're just trying to clean up eliminations as they slide into them.
Peterbot has a solo clutch to put the tournament out of reach.
They are keeping that height very much distance from the rest. And look, the fact that the rest of the lobby hasn't even had a chance to look up and pressure them back tells us a lot. Peterbot slow healing through the zone, placement points slowly.
Late here, Rapid finds himself falling, caught in the crossfires. Peterbot actually gonna prosper, but it's only momentary.
As Acorn and Cold win another game, taking out Batman, Booga, and Rapid.
Everybody else just playing that ultimate cleanup crew. It's only Batman Booga going for the medkit playoff. But I don't know if he has the... Actually, take that back. He's got plenty of medkits to work with.
He's got a lot of heals, and this is a 10 elimination game. They are going to be in the race, by the way, for an FNCS championship here. Acorn and Cold, I can't believe they are flying their way up the standings as well. This is going to go all the way through to the end. I love that he's going to crash pad very far and away here. Acorn, very, very smart play. Cold is trying to make sure that Batman Booga couldn't get the points, but it doesn't matter.
Clix and Veno fall to 4th, with Peterbot and Pollo's lead looking insurmountable. In Game 12, any hope of a comeback ended when Peterbot and Pollo continued their domination into endgame.
Now they're gonna make their move forward. Hazard, Sandman dropping just in front of them. Clix and Veno could have a box fight on their hands here. It's Batman Booga, he's just trying to go for the solo medkit play.
He's just holding on right now while Peterbot finds an elimination there. So now they're focusing in on high ground. Peterbot and Pollo are taking down the high ground team right now. They might be trying to set themselves up for a victory royale and a victory lap on the lobby right now. The plays here to do something big to find the points. Pollo is down. It's up to Peterbot once again to hold on to the dream here to be the back-to-back FNCS champion.
Veno and Clix desperately try to catch up after taking height but go down as Peterbot has a victory lap. And Batman Booga caps off an amazing Day 2. Major 3 comes to an end.
Forward, catch up with the rest of the lobby. Batman Booga, no heals remain. Tries to get another elimination. Peterbot does confirm one for himself. Hazard dropping. Peterbot down. Acorn and Cold. They are still holding strong though. Same case scenario for Clix, but he is finally eaten up by Cold, who also gets dropped simultaneously. Sandman could be looking to scoop this Victor Royale out from the depths. Hazard and Sandman steal this one away.
Peterbot and Pollo complete the first back-to-back FNCS win on NA since Booga and Miro.
We can say without a doubt, it is confirmed, Peterbot and Pollo have done it. The back-to-back has happened. Peterbot and Pollo, congratulations once again. The Axe of Champions will not leave their possession.
Capping off one of the most dominant runs in history. Clix and Veno fell to 4th, which was disappointing to both of them, as for much of the tournament, they had a taste of victory in their mouth. Veno raged, the griefing, the meta change at the last minute, the format. Clix, on the other hand, was disappointed, but felt optimism going forward.
He told me he wants to play with me for next year too, and do EU, NA, EU.
They both are turning their focus towards the global championship. Batman Booga and Rapid placed 2nd, a culmination of an insane season. More impressive considering they only played 11 out of 12 games due to an internet outage. With Acorn and Cold moving up to 3rd from 18th off an insane Day 2, scoring 614 of their 748 points. Booga is the only GOAT candidate to qualify for LAN.
We cannot replace him.
Tayson finished 15th and is rethinking his career. Pink and Miro placed 31st, ending his title defense. Despite the fact it was a huge step up based on their performance throughout the year, given the heightened expectations from their success coming into Grands, mongraal and Mr. Savage's 28th and qualification miss was extra painful, but it seems like they'll be back. Joseph Campbell once said, "A hero is only as great as the villain they face." It is the struggle against darkness that brings out the light in the hero. So, the silver lining of Peterbot and Pollo's unprecedented dominance is it makes the team that finally can beat them all the more legendary. Maybe, just maybe, it will be Clix and Veno at the Global Championship. Like, sub, and check out our other videos.